What is up YouTube, what is up channel 1, Inphy here, and in today's video, boys, I wanted to take just a quick day off of making FWT videos. Wanted to step back. I wanted to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for actually a while now, and I realized I made a video kind of mentioning this not too long ago, and it was generally well received, but there was a bit of a misunderstanding, a bit of a confusion. I just want to say now before I start this video that there's no ill intent, there's no flame intended here. All I wanted to do is give my thoughts on someone and something ultimately which kind of led to the creation of this channel a long time ago. And you might agree, you might disagree, that's absolutely fine. Some of you probably don't even know who I'm talking about because you might be new school, that's also fine. You will probably enjoy this video anyway, so do give it a watch. But with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and let me tell you guys the story of the rise and fall of Vahnmanx. Frank Vahnmanx VMX x Ian started his YouTube career over 4 years ago. Focusing mainly on mobile games to some good success despite the budget setup, his content was a mishmash of various games such as Hearthstone, Brave Frontier, and other miscellaneous mobile apps. On November 24th, 2015, VMX would upload a video titled Fantasy World Tactics, Top 5 Tips, Tricks, Cheats, and Secrets You Need to Know. Within this video lied nothing spectacular. VMX told viewers to level up their expedition, recruit Mu, good call, and to level up their Lord Masteries. There was nothing particularly groundbreaking or revolutionary in this video, but it did do very well for such a small game and got almost 50,000 views. VMX would then go on a 7-month stint of making FWT videos, aimed at the newer player with clickbait titles and thumbnails, all the while throwing in the occasional non-gaming related videos, which were hugely unsuccessful, just to mix up his content. Despite this, he was, at the time, the largest successful FWT content creator on YouTube, and with good reason. Another YouTuber by the name of Barzark began making FWT videos shortly after VMX's debut, and rose to popularity immediately for one reason, and one reason only. Barzark was a massive whale. With the tens of thousands of dollars that Bars invested in the game, he was able to understand the game at a higher level. He was able to experiment in the game that free-to-play players could not, and he became a respected figure in the community for FWT knowledge. But even with that, VMX's views on his FWT content outnumbered Bars for every single video at least 5 to 1. Why? In terms of YouTube videos, there exists two main aspects that every creator should be aware of. The first is content. What is inside your video? How much knowledge is in there? Is it new? Is it relevant? Is it tested? Is it factually correct? Is it helpful? Barzark's videos were all of these things, and VMX's videos were none of these things. VMX would often post videos that were factually incorrect or simply not helpful, but despite that his videos were more popular. Why? The second aspect to be aware of is character. Who you are. Are you interesting? Is there something that separates you from others? On the one hand, Barzark was dry, monotone, and often made hugely lengthy videos. VMX on the other hand was goofy, childish, cringy, and to many would eventually become a guilty pleasure to watch. So the two personalities were born, one with bad content but an interesting personality, and another with good content but with all the personality of a dry banana. Halfway through VMX's FWT video antics, he began to run out of clickbait. There's only so many OMGs and top 10s you can have in videos. VMX began to do what he does best, act cringy on camera. He would use this to work into patch note reviews, something which would typically be boring to do but made it fun and cringy and interesting. Unfortunately, this did not carry VMX far enough. The views on these videos were many times less than his clickbait videos, meaning he was not reaching the audience he wanted to, and because VMX was a free-to-play player with limited knowledge about the game, he could not realistically educate the wider FWT player base. On May 29th, 2016, VMX would upload his last FWT video, and this would mark the beginning of the end. 4 days later, VMX would return to YouTube with content for a new mobile game. I have actually never heard of this game before, but I'll let VMX's audience do the review for me. Nice clickbait, you dog-eating faggot, wrote one. Fucking noob, cunt, and you make me want to kill myself were some of the others. The harsh reality of YouTube comments aside, VMX was clearly struggling to reach an audience without the initial clickbaiting that had served him well previously. And then, in just over a month, everything changed. On July 10, 2016, VMX would upload Pokemon Go, Growth Hack Leveling Up Secret How to Level Up Faster, which got over 80,000 views. His next Pokemon Go video would get over 100,000 views, and the one after that would get him over 320,000 views. VMX's biggest rise, and ultimately his biggest fall, would start here. VMX would then spend the next 6 months making Pokemon Go videos, amassing a large fan base in that time. With the simplicity of Pokemon Go and the large audience it attracted, mainly of infants, VMX had both sides of the YouTube coin finally dominated. He was making good content and his personality was ever present in his videos. Despite this, VMX struggled to ride the wave of popularity. The Pokemon Go videos could only take him so far, and on January 14th, 2017, VMX would start his YouTube suicide by abandoning Pokemon Go videos entirely and switching quickly and swiftly to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. VMX would then have another 6-month stint uploading videos, now of extreme regularity for this game, with both sub numbers and view averages going up, but not aware of the hidden cancer within that was eating his channel. You see, by this point in time, VMX rebranded as VMX Game Tips and Tricks. It was clear VMX knew he could no longer rely on one goose to shit out hundreds of gold eggs for him. What I'm saying is VMX wanted to be able to branch into other games and genres, which makes perfect sense. If you look at examples like Donkey, Angry Joe, AVGN and many others, there are some success stories which prove that you don't need to focus on one game to be successful. If your character is there and your personality is interesting, people will watch your content regardless of what you're playing. Unfortunately, by this time, because VMX had left behind entire communities, the Fantasy War Tactics community, the Pokemon Go community, the Brave Frontiers community, and others, jumping from one ship to another without even a second glance at the sinking of the previous ship, he ended up building a fan base that came to expect only content of one particular game, and when that content did not appear, it was his own fan base which were confused and upset that attacked him. VMX's Duel Link videos ended after 6 months, marking the final moments of the channel. On August 29, 2017, VMX would attempt to breathe new life into his channel by making a sponsored video on a horrendous mobile game. Suddenly, VMX's character all but disappeared. He went from goofy and interesting to mundane and forgetful. With the character now far removed and the content back to being uninteresting, his fanbase turned on him. A parody video was even made which got more views than his original, despite the creator of that video having less than 5% of his subscriber count. Since then, VMX has uploaded one more video, which again was unpopular, and rather than being any kind of rise from the grave, ending up being his own fanbase. The fanbase who he himself brought in only to cast away many months later, shoveling the dirt on top of his coffin, marking the end chapter of what would be the rise and fall of Vahnmanx. And that is the end of the video, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed. That's just some of my thoughts that I've been wanting to put onto video for a while now. You know that when I came into this space, there were pretty much only two actors. It was Barzak and it was Vahnmanx. And when I threw myself into the pit, we became this kind of like awkward trifecta of very different personalities, which it was fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. And since then, this kind of community has actually dwindled. I think there's just not a lot of content for this game anymore, which is a shame because I've played this game for so long now, and I've quit kind of and left it for a while, but I keep finding myself coming back to this game. The kind of the core mechanics of this game is still really solid. I still usually mostly enjoy the game, and I think ultimately it's a shame that there are people out there who just kind of like jump onto it, make some content and then leave and go to a different game, which ultimately doesn't become as successful for them, where they could have easily stayed in this game because this game really needs more content creators. And that will do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Moose Tits OP.